My beginning wasn't really good at first. There's a lot of things that was a little intense. Back then, I wasn't in a good environment, safe environment with my birth mother, because she was still young. She's a high schooler. My little sister came into the world, and we were both in a bit of a predicament back then. And there was a time that we were sent to other housings, and they were going to separate me and my sister from one another. And that's when my great grandparents, Helen and Howard V. Hill, stood up. And he said, no matter what, they are still our blood, and we're going to take care of these two as they are our own children. When our grandpa and grandma decided to take us out here, which is the ranch, and they showed us around the place, and they said that this is our place where you're going to feel safe. You come over here and you feel at peace for yourself, away from everyone. Or whatever you're experiencing, always remember that you'll have a place here. There was one time when I was having a hard time, a major breakdown. Me and my sister, we were having rivalry moment, and we had to part from one another. Said some hurtful things. And I began to pray when I went by my grandpa's hay farm, because that was the most comfortable place for me to unwind myself and feel vulnerable. And I started to pray and ask for whatever who is there can take the pain away from me. And that's when the wind started blowing around me, blowing against the haystack, and the trees started moving, and I started feeling myself calming down after the whole anger moment that we had. And I felt at peace again. I felt more calm-minded. And I know I had to go back and apologize to my sister, and we both apologized. And we're learning how to not keep anything inside for too long or have a grudge. Because most siblings nowadays, they don't have that connection that most of them do, out of jealousy or anger or a long grudge that they don't understand or can't let go. And that's what me and my sister currently are. We're planning on not keeping the toxic cycle going. We want to break the cycle, break the string that's trying to ruin the family. When we started living with our great-grandparents, we started to be more able to explore part of the culture in the Jicarilla Apache, both Jicarilla Apache and both Navajo. Because my grandpa was a chief for the Jicarilla Apache, and he was also a medicine man as well. And my grandma, she's from the Navajo side, and her grandma taught her how to make the yarn from sheep wool. But she kind of forgotten as she lived away from her reservation and stayed with my grandpa. They began to show me the creativity side. My grandpa showed me how to do medicine pouches. At first, I didn't really like the idea of it. You know how kids are. We're too excited. We don't want to remain in one place. We have no patience. And that's when he showed me bits and parts of his medicine pouches that he made for his one of his sons. Even a bow moccasin pouch. And so he showed all of his creations to me, and I was inspired, but I didn't have anyone to teach me nor understood the meanings of them until I get a little bit older. And that's when I kind of had like a spiral down as a kid. I was very hot-tempered, and I wasn't listening a lot. And it kind of like put my grandparents in a hard place of helping to cope my emotions because of what happened when we were young. So we suffered a lot from anger management and some things that made us very sad back then. Until our other grandpa, who goes by the name of Mayah Vicenti, actually got me into art by doing pen drawing of my cursive name. He printed my name in cursive on paper and he showed it to me, and there was a feather, eagle feather, with it. And I asked him, "How do you do that?" And he told me, "I'll show it to you, and you better watch, because this might be the last time I'll do it for you." And so I watched him do that, and I was so amazed that I actually began to mimic his cursive writing. And at first it was a little bothersome because I couldn't make it as pretty as his. And that's when I decided to add a lot of vibrant colors. Color makes me happy. It makes me feel joy. It makes it feel home. And I felt very expressive. I felt very calm. And that's when my family began to notice that I was more drawn to my artistic side of me. Some of them, they like to work. Some of them, they like to help their grandparents. But I love to do art because it makes me feel at peace with myself. I was shown through powwow. The powwows, they have a lot of creativity. I was influenced by the sounds as a kid. I was influenced by the bells, the flowing colors that's moving all around me, including the feathers. It made me in awe for the people who created them. I have been attending II, which is the Institute of American Indian Arts. When we start talking to one another, we all came to have like an understanding that we all had the same problem, is accepting who we were and where we're from. We all felt the feeling of loneliness, misunderstanding. We're not able to show our backgrounds because we were embarrassed about where we're from. Previously, I was embarrassed. I couldn't understand our culture. Like, I wanted to, but I couldn't get into it because I seen like the movies and all of that, and it wasn't making me feel more connected just by watching them. Until when you're out into the world, you'll find other students or other younger generations like mine, like in that same boat. And you have to learn how to become very precious of your identity. Everything in our artwork, we have to be very respectable about them, because sometimes they help us in ways that we don't know that we're being helped. I've learned from the mountains to the stars, because I felt very grounded. I felt very helped by seeing them. Seeing like the mountains, the rivers, the stars, the moon. I felt very comfortable with seeing them, hearing their stories, because I felt there's more stories to the world around us than we know through generations, because they say a lot that we don't normally see. I appreciate everything that's around us, including the bugs too. Bugs and animals, because they also have stories running through them, like how we are as people. Wherever you live, just sit down, listen to everything. You may hear like the cities bustling with life, and sometimes they forget that the area that they lived in was used to be a place filled with trees, rivers, and life before the buildings. And also take a look at your family. Even if you don't have like a lot of family, if you're pairs of 4 or 2, or yourself with your dog, you are a family. You have a family that's behind you that you don't know about. They're trying to help you. They're trying to overcome the trauma. They want you to break away from that trauma response. Break away from normalcy of the toxic lifestyle that modern days are trying to influence you. I take care of my art as how I take care of myself. Like, you want to feel your self-love. You don't want to down talk yourself, nor your achievements, nor the people around you. Because you don't know what they're going through. Even if they're having a bad day, just understand that they are a human being with emotions, that you don't understand their story. And everything has a story to it. Try to find something that makes you happy. What makes you feel you, not to anyone, not for anyone's approval. What makes you really happy? When was the last time you have felt happy? And if you felt happy for doing what you're doing, go for it. Don't let anyone influence you, nor the people with negativity influence your life. Because what you're doing something that's making you feel you and happy and proud. And I'm proud of you for being here, even overcoming some hardships and challenges that I may not know of.